January 2014, Justin Bieber got detained in Miami, drunk driving and resisting arrest. The charges were dropped when he donated $50,000 to a charitable organization and agreed to go to a therapy session on the risks of drunk driving. It's no surprise that celebrities may get away with heinous crimes committed in public, but this isn't always the case. The instances and predicaments of 10 celebrities who were at the pinnacle of their sports and entertainment professions when they made horrible judgments that culminated in lengthy jail terms are discussed in today's episode. Number 10. Tamor Trevor McIntyre. In 2017, Tamor McIntyre released the smash tune, The Race. He was originally arrested in July 2016 for a house invasion and robbery that killed a narcotics dealer in Mansfield, Texas. The group had teamed up with two girls, Megan Holt and Ariana Barrett, for the purpose of seducing and distracting drug dealer Ethan Walker, who was the target of a home invasion by TK and his other gang members. In the end, Walker died in a conflict. Later, on March 27, 2017, was put under house arrest pending certification hearings. Then he ran away to San Antonio, Texas and removed his ankle monitor. "F this house arrest shit, they gonna have to catch me in the hood," he tweeted that day. Soon after, he published The Race, about his legal issues and police invasion. The song earned platinum after reaching number 44 on the Billboard Top 100 in the United States. On the run, TK murdered 23-year-old Mark Anthony Saldivar and robbed 65-year-old Owen Pepe on April 23, 2017. TK was apprehended by U.S. Marshal on June 30, 2017, and the track The Race was used on him in court. For murder, TK was sentenced on July 23 to 55 years in jail. 30-year sentence for one offense of violent robbery, and two 13-year terms for two additional charges. Number 9. Oscar Pistorius. Oscar Pistorius is a Paralympic gold medalist and former professional sprinter from South Africa. By 2012, he was a world-renowned athlete and a popular South African celebrity, following another historic success in the 2012 London Olympics. A few months later, Pistorius made news again, but for an unexpected reason. On February 14, 2013, around dawn St. Valentine's Day, Pistorius killed Riva Steenkamp by shooting her 4 times in the toilet. Pistorius claimed he mistook a burglar for a Steenkamp. On the night before, neighbors claimed to have heard yelling and scary cries from his home. Ex-girlfriend Samantha Taylor said Pistorius was a violent lover with rage problems. Throughout the trial, there was an anger problem. Police files also highlighted Pistorius' history of domestic abuse and serious assault. Olympic gold medalist Oscar Pistorius was convicted of manslaughter on September 20, 2014. Following an appeal by the state, the highest court increases the sentence to 13 years. Number 8. Suge Knight. Marion Hugh Knight, Jr., better known by his stage name Suge Knight, is a former American music tycoon who was the co-founder and chief executive officer of the legendary Death Row Records. Knight was instrumental in the early 1990s commercialization of gangsta rap, especially with the debut of The Chronic by Dr. Dre and Doggy Style by Snoop Dogg. Knight negotiated an agreement with Tupac Shakur in 1995, paying his $1.4 million bail to release him and signing his name to the Death Row Records. 6 months later, Tupac's East Coast competitor B.I.G. was also slain in a drive-by shooting. When Tupac died, many people suspected that Knight had planned to depart the company and ordered Biggs's murder as a distraction from his involvement in the Tupac investigation. Knight served time in prison for violent assaults and probation and parole breaches during the late 1990s and the early 2000s. Finally, on January 29, 2015, Knight smashed his vehicle into 2 guys, killing one and injuring the other. Witnesses said Knight followed the guys to a burger shop parking lot following a heated altercation. Knight ran over both guys on the surveillance video, indicating the crash was deliberate. From his arrest through his sentencing, 15 different attorneys worked on his case. The penalty for voluntary manslaughter was 28 years in September 2018. Number 7. Ricardo Medina Jr. Power Rangers and Power Rangers Samurai star Ricardo Medina Jr. His buddy Josh Stutter was killed by Medina's sword from Conan the Barbarian, soon after a quarrel over Medina's girlfriend in Green Valley, California. He was stabbed numerous times before dialing 911 despite Medina's claim of self-defense. Stutter died on the way to the hospital. Medina was sentenced to 6 years in jail on March 16, 2017 after pleading guilty to voluntary manslaughter. Number 6. Sam Hurd. Sam Hurd is a former National Football League wide receiver with Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. Hurd joined the Dallas Cowboys in 2007 and also was named third receiver and special teams leader in 2010. Hurd signed a contract with Chicago Bears in July 2011 but was released from the organization 4 months later after being arrested on December 16th for trying to acquire and sell substantial amount of drugs. Despite the fact that Hurd acknowledged to drug usage and pretended to be having a terrible time, the police discovered his phone number on the caller ID of a big drug dealer who had been arrested 4 months previously in California. Further research found that Hurd had bought big amounts of drugs from traffickers for $25,000 per kilo and $450 per pound of marijuana. This contradicted his claim that the pills were for personal use. Sentencing took place on November 13, 2013. His release date from the federal detention prison in Bastrop, Texas is May 17, 2025. Number 5. Kodak Black. American rapper Kodak Black came to prominence with his first album Painting Pictures, which peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200. Following Drake's viral video of him dancing to a Kodak Black song, the young rapper signed with Atlantic Records the same month. In April 2016, he was accused with unlawful possession of powerful guns, marijuana possession, and fleeing the police in Hollandale Beach, Florida. A month later, he was arrested for armed robbery in Broward County. It was in August 2016 when 7 Atlantic Records employees went to court. One of them was Atlantic Records VP Michael Kushner, who said Kodak has a promising future as a music artist. After a year of house detention, a new rape complaint was filed against Kodak, allegedly perpetrated in February 2016. The armed robbery, assault battery, handgun possession, probation and parole violations occurred from 2016 to 2019. Kodak was convicted to 46 months in jail for aggravated burglary and handgun possession in November of 2019. Despite Donald Trump's presidential pardon, Kodak Black remains in jail awaiting trial on rape accusations as he awaits the outcome of the case. Number 4. Harvey Weinstein. His company Miramax Films and Weinstein Company are both well known in the film industry. The New York Times released a piece in October 2017 about numerous women accusing Weinstein of abusing and raping women in the profession. Harvey had abused around 80 women in the past 30 years. Young actresses would be invited to Weinstein's hotel room to talk about their future careers as well as demand for massage and sex. Weinstein was a sexual predator. Weinstein was charged with rape and other sex crimes in May 2018. He was convicted of third-degree rape and convicted to 23 years behind bars in February 2020. Even after Weinstein's imprisonment, additional accusations from 6 more women in LA, New York, and London are being investigated. Number 3. Shannon Richardson. Her name is Shannon Richardson. She used to be an actress, but was caught and sentenced to time in prison. She was found guilty of threatening letters to former US President Barack Obama, New York City's Mayor Michael Bloomberg, and the key lawmaker who led the mayor's anti-illegal firearms push on June 28, 2013. Worse, the letters contained ricin, a very toxic toxin derived from castor bean capsules. The toxic letters were sent by her spouse, Shannon alleged. The woman even went so far as to hide evidence in the vehicle and lunchbox of her husband. Her punishment was 18 years in jail after she pled guilty on December 10, 2013. She is currently in federal prison in Fort Worth, Texas. Number 2. R. Kelly. R. Kelly, whose stage name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, is an American R&B singer, songwriter, and producer. Kelly is regarded for revolutionizing R&B and mainstream soul music. Unfortunately, during the 1990s, several allegations of Kelly's sexual abuse of minors have clouded his immense contribution to American hip-hop culture. In 2002, he was charged with 13 instances of child pornography, but he was cleared of all charges. Kelly was arrested and charged on 22 federal charges of sexual assault, trafficking, child pornography, abduction, forced labor, and racketeering after the publication of a short documentary Surviving R. Kelly, which reveals claims of sexual abuse by many women. He is now being imprisoned at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center awaiting trial on August 9, 2021. Number 1. Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby, sometimes known as America's Dad, is a former stand-up comedian and actor. In the 1960s, Cosby began doing stand-up at San Francisco's Hungry Eye nightclub. Cosby is the most wealthy comic in American history. Around 60 women have accused Cosby of rape, drug-assisted sexual assault, sexual violence, child sexual abuse, and other forms of sexual misconduct. A stand-up performance filmed by comic Hannibal Buress hinting to Cosby's clandestine sexual wrongdoing went viral in October 2014, despite the claims extend from 1965 to 2008. While initially denying any wrongdoing, Cosby eventually acknowledged using the narcotic hypnotic methadone on a number of young women. On September 25, 2018, he was convicted guilty of 3 charges of aggravated assault and convicted to 10 years in prison. Thanks for watching. If you have an idea for a video, please share it in the comment section below. For more videos about crime, infamous criminals, and historical scandals, subscribe to our channel.